All right, so we're just showing the chart right there. Strong investor reaction to your company, shares up just about 5% since earnings. I want to talk to you about what helped you beat expectations last quarter, and also what gave you the confidence to raise your Capex.
I think a couple of things. First and foremost, I give credit to the 20,000 men and women of Exelon. They show up every day, and it starts with operational excellence. When you look at who Exelon is, as you've just outlined, the service territories that we serve, our four companies are in the top 5 of the most operationally reliable utilities in the country. So that's first and foremost. So we're meeting customers' expectations. Second, our jurisdictions are being spanned by growth in the AI data center area. Illinois, as you talked about ComEd, it ranks in the top 5 in the United States for data center growth. And we're meeting that with reliable and cheaper electricity than most other jurisdictions. And then I would also say third is we're committed to doing what we say we're going to do. It's the 3rd year in a row that we've met or exceeded our earnings guidance at the midpoint or better since we've separated into a pure T&D company. And I think the market is recognizing that. And you put that along with the growth, that $38 billion, that 10%, 80% of that is being invested in transmission. That gives strong indicators that this company has a strong foundation moving forward.
So, Kevin, let's talk more about that data center demand. I know Texas is not one of your markets, but last week we saw Apple announce they're spending $500 billion to expand their server capacity and some other initiatives, in all fairness. When you're talking to companies, because I know you work with a lot of these big tech companies, what are they telling you about their needs when it comes to power and also data centers?
Yeah, we do. We talk to them all. And I've already talked about Illinois. We've got growth in Pennsylvania. We've got growth in Maryland. The key for them is reliable and resilient energy. And they're wanting to get hooked up quick. And that is something that we've really put the focus of the customer in the middle of that. So when you look at providing reliable energy with resilient energy and an ability to navigate the connection with them sooner rather than later, those are all good signs that they're going to look at your market for development. Now, it's very important to recognize that there's not been one data center built, I don't believe one, across the United States in a state that has not provided tax incentives for them to come in and build out. And all of our jurisdictions are set to do that, and we're actively in conversations with them day in and day out.
All right, so you keep talking about reliability when it comes to your service. How are you dealing with uncertainty when it comes to things like trade policy? Obviously, tariffs are expected to start up tomorrow. How does that impact your business, whether it be the import tariffs or the tariffs on things like steel and aluminum?
Yeah, we have done an analysis. It will impact our business from a cost perspective, but minimally. We have done that analysis, and it's not something that's going to be significant. So you really talk about our supply chain, and we are managing that supply chain because of our scale and size. We're able to do that a lot better than some others. And we've taken that in consideration, and we began the process of ensuring that we can move equipment around, the standardization of equipment across our utilities. So if you have large growth occurring in one of our markets, if we happen to have a piece of equipment in Pennsylvania or Maryland, we will move that equipment, and that utility will pay their sister utility to get that done. And that is something that we can do because of our scale and size, and we've been really optimizing our portfolio for a while.
So I just have to ask you, you raised your Capex guidance. We're hearing about a lot of other companies and other business leaders saying some of these trade policies are leading to uncertainty and kind of putting them in wait and see mode. They're holding off on doing different things or different initiatives, whether it be Capex or hiring and things like that. What's given you the confidence going forward that you can continue to invest in the business despite some of the uncertainty from D.C.?
Yeah, the confidence comes from the demand growth that you referred to. When you talk about the data center boom that's taking place and also the energy transformation that is occurring across the United States, it requires a strong and resilient grid. Now, you take that additional $3 billion we put in our capital plan, 80% of that is geared towards the transmission part of our system, which is required for this energy transformation to take place. You can't get to point B if you don't take care of the foundation of the grid first. This grid must be revolutionized and made more digitized, and we are putting in the money to get that done.
All right, last question. The Fed, a lot of uncertainty about if or when we're going to get these Fed cuts. How does that impact your business? And also, how do you think it also impacts the attractiveness of your stock? A dividend's a big part of every utility company.
Yeah, in the earlier segments you had is that we're considered a staple. And we are focusing on affordability for our customers. So anytime you have a movement in interest rates or costs in general, it impacts the affordability of my customers. And I always take that first and foremost because people need to be able to afford their energy. And we do a wonderful job in managing our costs, but anytime the federal government steps in and raises costs of borrowing money or anything else, it impacts the overall affordability of people to live. And I recognize that, so we're doing our part, and that's the first step for us.